This segment of Hak5 is brought to you by Domain.com. So now you have a wonderful picture of my horrible nail polish here and the MK802. This is what I'm reviewing this week.
Hooray!
Yay!
What's this toy you've been playing with?
This is awesome. It's a miniature Android PC running ice cream sandwich.
These are getting really popular. There's some really cool stuff you can do with these.
Yeah, they are really popular right now.
So tell me about the hardware.
So this thing has pretty sweet hardware in it. It's an A10 1 gigahertz CPU processor, the 1 gig of memory, which is nice. It's got 4 gigs of storage, so it seems pretty little, but it also has a nice little place for a micro SD card on here, and then you have tons of USB ports, so you could always plug in like an external hard drive if you wanted to. It has 802.11bg and N wireless pre-built, so you don't have to worry about, you know, installing new alpha or anything like that on it if you didn't need to. Android 4.0.4 ice cream sandwich, of course, the expansion slots, and then it also has HDMI, which is really nice, and it's 5-volt power supply.
In fact, you have this
normal power.
You have this one right here, so you can either plug it in the power here, but you can power it over the micro or the mini USB connector.
Yeah. So what is this cable? Because you just
this is just a regular. Well, this is a regular mini USB cable. I got a longer one, so we can demo it here. But this is actually plugged into.
You just got it plugged into the TV.
Service. Yeah, you'll notice that on a lot of modern HD TVs, there's a USB port for like service. Yes. That's for your like firmware upgrades. But they also supply power, so that's pretty cool.
How handy.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you a quick tour of what it looks like and how to use it a little bit and give you an idea of, you know, what it feels like to use it. I've been using one over the weekend as a home theater PC, and it's pretty nice, I gotta say. I was able to play like Angry Birds on my home theater PC at home on my TV. Where is it? There it is. So I'm going to play a little bit of Angry Birds because it looks pretty good on the television.
What are you using to control this?
This is a Logitech, what's it called? Wireless touch keyboard. And it's like 25 bucks on Amazon, super cheap. And then it has just a couple of 2 AA batteries, and it has a nice little slot for its USB.
So any kind of like regular human interface device, if I were to plug a regular mouse and keyboard into this, there you go.
Speaking of human interface devices.
Oh, next week.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll come back to that. So you can see it's pretty smooth, and I can go in here and start playing a game. And it's nice that I can play this with a mouse and keyboard. It makes it a lot easier.
Really?
Yeah, so I can skip through here instead of like having to actually touch a touchscreen. So I think I'm a little bit better at this game when I'm actually using a mouse and keyboard.
Oh my god, you know, it'd be so cool. Who was it? Jason Applebaum came on a few years ago and did a hack where we took a regular LCD and turned it into a touch screen, and it acted as a regular mouse.
Yes!
So if we were to do that to your television and plug it into here, it would be a mouse. And then you could get up and play like in like a 50-inch version.
That's an awesome idea.
That'd be insane.
We should put this on a projector and have like huge screen Angry Birds. Okay, maybe not. So I'll go back home, and then you can also do like your browsing and whatnot. You can play movies, HDMI video, of course. And you got this nifty little file manager, which I was using also over the weekend. So you can view pictures really nice, and you can, you know, play music off your television. All the normal stuff that you would do with a home theater PC. And you can download apps, so you can have anything from like all the games that you want to play on Android.
So it's got the full Google Play Store?
Yeah, I think so. I can try to find it. I had trouble finding it at home, and let me see if I can find it again. Oh yeah, and you can do live wallpapers, which is kind of fun. The mouse takes a little bit of time to get from one end to another, so it might be a little easier to actually have a mouse that you can move around faster with instead of this touch one. There's the Google Play Store. Yeah, so you can go in here and you could, you know, download like Netflix or whatever you want to and use it to watch streaming video as well as whatever you want to put into your little micro SD card.
Actually, I was using it a little bit earlier, and I downloaded this app. If you guys haven't seen...
Yeah, I saw this on the home screen. What is this?
So Complete Linux is an app for, it's just in the Android Play Store, and all you do is you get this app. There's a free version, and then there's some donate versions. So this guy's done a lot of great work. I get the donate version. You plug in like a 4 gig micro SD card, and then it's got these installation guides that basically walk you through downloading like Backtrack or Ubuntu and installing them alongside Android, and then even setting up like VNC so you can access them.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds a lot easier
dual booting
than what
Android and it's kind of like the difference between dual booting Android and Linux versus like having a virtual machine, except they're both running side by side. So it's a bit slow.
Oh, well, speaking of Linux, we also tried out a whole lot of different kind of Linux distros over the weekend and last week too, that, well, some of them ran on here really well and some of them not that great. They were kind of eh.
You know, I think that's the most beautiful thing about this is it's rooted from the factory. So,
Yes.
you know, it comes rooted and it also comes with an unlocked bootloader and in such a way that you don't even have to go into Clockwork Mod or anything like that. Literally,
You just plug it in.
with an image, with
Yeah.
a Linux image on this, and then booting off of it. In fact, let's start that while you get into this. So just pull the power, plug that guy in, and now it's booting off this card, right?
Yes.
All right, cool.
It should be. So we tried a whole bunch of different Linux distros. The first one that I tried was Puppy Linux.
Oh, you love puppies.
I do, but
love Puppy
honestly,
Linux?
now that I've been working with Ubuntu so much on my laptop, I'm not loving the Puppy Linux anymore.
Really?
I mean,
No
it
more
was
love for
great when
Puppy?
it was its simplicity at its max, right?
The idea behind Puppy Linux has always been make something like hella small. In fact, there was
Yeah.
one that used to be
And
called
it's tiny.
Damn Small Linux, and it's seriously like 150 megs or something like that, and it runs great on your 486.
Right.
So if you want to give your 486 some love,
Then you could do that, but
yeah.
you know, if you have something new and fun like this, you probably want to put something a little bit more hefty on there so you can have a little bit more fun with the Linux distros.
If you're setting up a website to start a new business, showcase your portfolio, publish your blog, domain.com, the best place to go for your next great idea. You see, if you need a domain name, consider getting yourself a, what's that one? Oh yeah, a .com. That's the one that's globally recognized. It's totally understood, immediately gives credibility no matter what you choose. And if you're into investing in and selling domains, .coms have the highest aftermarket value. I know I should have gotten Hak5.com from the get-go. Well, you can find a .com over at domain.com. Shannon and I love them. They are totally affordable, they're reliable, they're easy to use, and they have a huge social media presence. If you tweet at domain.com, you're gonna find that you will get great customer support. Makes it a really fun place to do business. So get this, the guys over at domain.com, huge Hak5 fans. They want to hook you up with 15% off their already affordable domain names and hosting. All you have to do is go over to domain.com and use the checkout code, the coupon code HAK5 at checkout. That's 15% and big savings, so don't forget to use the coupon code HAK5. When you think domain names, think domain.com.